Welcome, welcome, everyone. We're here with Too Much Is Never Enough with Jovi Marie, and I have Lilybette on the line as well. And she's going to be talking about how she became an entrepreneur. And the most amazing story about her is how her husband inspired her to do either Facebook. I know we were talking a little bit about it last Sunday, and it inspired me to at least have this talk or this conversation with her. So, Lilybeth, tell us a little bit about why you guys became entrepreneurs and your business has been up and running for 2 years already.
So my husband has been working in the food industry. I want to say pretty much since I've met him. He kept on asking me because everyone that came over to our house, they would always say, "Oh my God, his food is so good. He's such a good host." And he always liked taking pictures of his dishes. And he started telling me, "Can you open a Facebook account for me?" And I told him, "You already have one." He's like, "No, but one where I can post the pictures of my food." And I was maybe not in denial, but I was just thinking, okay, sure, whatever. And I wasn't doing it until one day that he made carnitas for us, because not only did he have a full-time job, he was a soccer coach, and he cooked for some of the parents in one of the teams. And he started talking about making carnitas and quesadillas de sesos, the brain quesadillas or fried tacos. I knew that he knew how to cook, but I didn't know about that. So one day, I think it was Memorial Day of 2020, when we were going through the pandemic, somebody said, "Oh, we should make carnitas. Let's all, put together some money and we'll make carnitas." And then I told him, I said, "Dude," I said, "what if you don't even know how to make them? I'm going to be so embarrassed." So he said he got off of the couch because it was, Memorial Day. Everybody was home. He got off the couch and he went to make them on the stove.
Oh,
When
wow.
I tried the carnitas and the salsas that he made to go with it, I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I can put this on Facebook." I said, "Let me take pictures." So then I went ahead and I created his business page. And little by little, we started adding more pictures. I remember that at one point in 2020, we had people coming to buy food from our garage.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
he would set up tables, they would bring drinks, and it all started just like, get-togethers with people, and they started inspiring us to go bigger, pretty much, to the point where he made business cards. We changed the name of the Facebook page, because it started as Gus's Mexican Kitchen, something like that. And then we were thinking, well, Father's Day of, was it not last year, so Father's Day 2020, my son saw how my husband was struggling to make the carnitas on the stovetop into different pots for orders that he already had. And his friends were saying, "Oh, this summer we're gonna get together in a few weeks, and all of the families that usually hang out, we're going to pitch in and we're going to buy him the proper pot for making the carnitas. We're all gonna pitch in and buy the meat." So one weekend, my husband, right before Father's Day, my husband was making his carnitas at home, and my son saw the struggle. And my son sent me a text. He's like, "Do you know the guy that sells the Casos?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you take me?" And I said, "For what?" But I already knew deep down what my son wanted to do. So my son went and bought him his big Caso, because that's how they call the pot where they make the carnitas. He
Hmm.
bought him his Caso. He bought him the big spoon to mix it, and even stuff to scoop it out from the oil. And we came and we put it in the garage, and then we asked my husband to go and help us. I remember that where we lived back then, we live by train tracks. So I've been told that when you're by the train tracks, it's I don't know why those areas call for garden snakes. And I remember that we had seen a couple of garden snakes, and I remember my son came in and said, "Can you please come and help us? You know, there's a snake out there, and my mom's scared to, to pass." But it was just to get him outside to show him his gift. He bought him a big caso, and to be able to make his carnitas. And ever since then, my my husband became more and more what's the word I'm looking for? Motivated to keep on growing. And word of mouth, little by little, we started hosting someone's uh, wedding wedding shower.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the one you do before they get married, right? The wedding
Yeah.
shower, the
Mm-hmm.
bridal shower.
Bridal
We
shower.
did the bridal shower. Then the day of their actual wedding, after the late night snack at the venue, they hired us, and that was our first big taquiza ever.
Yeah.
And then from there on, pretty much our clients are mostly from word of mouth. And it's just my husband, my kids, and I. We're the ones working because we started thinking, if you hire someone right now that we're not that big, that little money that could have been your profit, it's going to go towards paying that person. I said, I'm not trying to be selfish, but we need that right now.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So that's how we started our own little business.
So, Lilybeth, I am a fan of the tacos. Your salsas were like the bomb. I'll say
Thank
that.
you.
I'll put hands down on them. They were delicious. Um, and it was just scrumptious from like the beginning to the end. And I had the barbacoa, so it was delicious.
Oh,
So tell us the name of your business and also the names of your husband and your son you guys are partnered into this entrepreneur small business for Latinos, basically. And you're an inspiration to the Latino community because, we have to start building each other up.
definitely. The name of our business is El Caso De Oro,
Mhm.
and I changed the name on Facebook to El Caso de Oro. Honestly, at first I didn't even know how to spell it properly
Mhm.
until I said, wait, caso sounds more like case, but that's not the type of case that I'm talking about. So I corrected the spelling of it, and that's when we created our little logo. Did you see one of our cards?
You
No,
sent
right?
it to me through text.
Okay. So I found the pot, and my daughter found the little pig, and then we started playing around with it, and that's how it is, the way that it is now.
Mhm.
My husband's name is Gustavo Vidal.
Mhm.
My son, and he's actually my son's stepfather.
Okay.
My son is Pedro Barrera.
Mhm.
My girls are Ivana and Isabela.
Wow.
And
So it's a family business.
yes, and everyone has their duties of what everyone does. When we have a taquiza or when we're catering, everybody knows what they have to do. And pretty much, since now we already know what our duties are, I guess we work them at our own pace.
Mhm.
But for example, my husband, I'm the one who makes the rice and the beans.
Okay. Oh,
My
wow.
daughters want to step in and make them, but that's the one job that I have for sure. We all help with everything, the chopping, but the making of the rice and beans, oh, and the zanahorias en vinagre,
Mhm.
that's something that I have to do.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone has their own duties. And as you saw at the grill, you're gonna find my son and my husband. My husband does all the prepping of the meats, the flavoring, and or the seasoning, and my son, he's the one who's making the tacos the majority of the time, depending on the size of the party.
Okay. Oh, wow. So, what was it, or share with us your passion, especially the passion of your business, and how far do you see this going? Are you thinking of either it growing nationwide, like throughout the United States? What are some dreams that you have or some inspiration right now?
So my husband wants to buy a food truck.
Okay.
He wants to buy a food truck. We have discussed opening a business, but then we realized that it probably will not give us enough time to make to keep the business and continue with the catering and the taquisas,
Mhm.
because we want to give everyone the that family cooking style, or we want to treat everyone and feed everybody like it was our own family. We have been invited to cater out of state. We have family members. Well, I have, my family is pretty big. I have family in Massachusetts.
Wow.
They had invited us to go cater for my cousin's 50th birthday, but because of other events that we already had booked here, we couldn't go. But we would definitely love, to do it in the future.
Oh, nice.
Our passion is making sure that everyone feels the love through the food.
Absolutely. And I felt it. It was delicious.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, and that's something that my husband and I have always talked. When you do something with love, you can taste it.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. So, what's the key point and how far has your faith gotten you with your family, especially with your business?
So we are firm believers that what is for you, whether it's good or bad, it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
And we have faith in God that he gives us what we ask for. Sometimes we ask for small things without thinking that we deserve and that he has better and bigger things for us. So I think that where we have gotten, there have been times where we don't have anything booked, or we think that we don't have anything booked, and then suddenly we have two or three events lined up. So, and then from one event, we have other events. For example, the events where we saw you last weekend,
Hmm.
we've already had a few calls from people that were there wanting to book us for
Wow.
their events. So our we know that God has great plans for us, and He will make things happen at the right time. And we've seen that because, like I said earlier, he started cooking, making his carnitas in our kitchen, and now he has two grills, he has more pots and everything, all of his equipment.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So, do you want to add anything else to this podcast? What do you want to tell the people, and what other things do you want to come across for your business?
You know, the one thing that I would say is we don't always have as the humans that we don't always have good days. There are days when we doubt ourselves, when we think that we might not be doing something good. But there every little thing counts. Sometimes your everyday cooking, for example, can get you places. I was talking to a friend who was thinking that, you know, I don't think that I'm good at anything. She said, if I were to leave my job, I don't think I could do anything. So
Oh, wow.
I started talking to her, and we were at a party. We were sitting on same table, and I said, look, I said, what do you like doing? She's like, well, I like baking. I said, well, I see people baking cakes and selling them online. Why don't you do that? So I think that being encouraged and knowing that don't feel down, don't think that you're not good for anything. because you might be, even if it's just organizing your house, trust me, that's something that I'm not good at, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that are good at it. So don't doubt yourself. The little things make big things happen. And
Absolutely.
hopefully one day you'll see a Caso de Oro truck, down the street. And that's us. That's gonna be us.
Right? Absolutely. I can't wait. Your next party, I'm there.
We got you.
Oh man. All right, Lilybeth and everyone. I only have Lilybeth's information, El Caso de Oro, and it's gonna be in the bio. And a little bit more about her and her family. We're gonna have all that information there, their telephone, if you want to order anything, you want them to cater your events, you reach out to Lilybeth and her family. El Caso de Oro, just remember that. And if you have any comments, likes, shares, go ahead and do that on this page, all right? You have a great one. Thank you. Thank you, Beth, for this
Thank you so
opportunity.
much. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hold on.